Hey, what is up? Welcome back, Design Squad. And in this video, I'm going to answer yet another question. What do hiring managers look for in UX research candidates? And this is a big question because ultimately, as always with UX, the answer is it depends. It depends which environments you ought to join, the maturity of a design. Are you going to be a first user researcher, or are you going to join a team of research? Are you going to be expected to do more than user research? And so instead, what we can do is really just look into the market and the job ads. This is something like I recommend to my junior designers. Well, look what you're applying for, because the job ad should tell you. And if it doesn't tell you, chances are they're too lazy to pull it up. They're probably not that invested in the hiring anyways. And then it's a question, do you really want to join that? Let's talk about London, let's talk about UK, and let's see exactly what companies are looking for. So here, I have a few different examples, almost like a senior lead level researcher. So there are multiple roles. So it's gonna encapsulate exactly the core skills that we're after, right? As a UX researcher, you will work with other members to make a positive impact on quality of what our client offers, demonstrating what good looks like for user research, which is quite vague, but then we can see exactly the key skills, which is representing user research in a digital team, requirements gathering, concept prototype testing, guerrilla research, other approaches, UX design and design principles, ability to design execution analysis of quantitative surveys, ability to turn user research finding into stories and actions, which is super important. If you cannot make user research themes or insights actionable, they're worthless. And I think it's going to be almost like a theme or what I would be looking for. This is exactly resonating with that, because if you really can't put those in practice, or you cannot take the people on the journey into the research and what did you find out, why would you even run the research? You need to inform some sort of decisions and action. And that's what I would want to see in the candidate as well. Knowledge of best practices, experience in research users, accessibility, assisted digital needs, and degree in HCI, usability, cognitive or related field would be ideal. So also they have a very specific degree. You could also get it without it because it's just ideal. You should be able to pick up anyways with all the other learning material and then practice. UX researcher, right? So there's a lot of blurb here. There's a lot of about the company, vanities type of descriptions. Nobody's really gonna care about that. What we care about is the day-to-day, right? So as you can see, you would be working with product managers and developers, planning, conducting user research, usability testing, informed design and development of our products, analyzing existing research to identify trends and insights, working collaboratively. This is really important, meaning you bring it all those different people on the journey with you, so what you found out, and also using them, or actually not using them, but informing them, capturing their ideas to actually make the hypothesis as informed as possible, so you can prove it or disprove it or find something new. This is actually very important, managing logistics, planning, scheduling research sessions, things of that nature, communicating findings, clear, visible way, a lot of other requirements. And I like what they did is this isn't for you if this is your first research job, so they're making it clearly that you need to be experienced. It's not an entry level. We really need someone with solid foundation of experience, which is fair enough. They actually make it clear. You're looking for people management, meaning that it's a sole contributor role. You enjoy UX design. As you can see, they make it super clear that it's not UX design. This is just a research role, and you're gonna work with other designers to actually implement and action those things, whatever you find out. And also you're gonna work in collaboration with them. This is quite clear. I think it's a good spec, and it kind of defines exactly what you should be striving to represent, right? Be it in your resume, cover letter, portfolio. The more experienced you are in user research, it's harder to kind of present a good portfolio, and it's everywhere else as well. But if you can have case studies of the actual approach, outcomes, outlining exactly what you did, is going to go a long way instead of just talking about it or just mentioning on a super high level. And if we take another one, which is from Facebook, UX researcher, there is a blurb, yada yada methods. As we scale the team, we're looking for teammates to range expertise, specialists, methodological generalists, with skills, qualitative, quantitative research methods. This is really important because qualitative and quantitative research methods are gonna be kind of like a bread and butter for UX researcher. Designers, when they transition into research or they think they know research, they only know the qualitative side of it. The quant is usually the hardest bit, which you need to marry up with the qualitative. Can you actually own it? Can you actually drive it to merge those different insights and measures together to arrive at some sort of hypothesis to prove, plan out the research, and actually action. So this is one of those things you might want to work on if you haven't done already. And as you can see, for this position, we're looking for experienced researchers with strong skills in range of qualitative research methods. The right candidates will be excellent communicators, knowledgeable about product development, design, curious about relation between technology and society, comfortable in fast-moving organization, meaning that it's going to be super lean. Some of those keywords you're going to pick up in a lot of different ads can tell you a lot of how deep the research has to be or how fast-paced, and this is they're not hiding, meaning that there's going to be almost like a living in change, I would presume. Excited to collaborate, passionate about understanding and helping people. If it sounds like you, come join. Yada yada yada, you know, all that blurb. They're literally stating what I just said, which is design hypotheses and lead studies that examine both user behavior and attitudes. It's kind of like a cookie cutter, outline of a user research. What would be your approach to do that? What would be your approach to prioritize it? Show me. Lead the studies, meaning end-to-end, plan it, action it, review it, playbacks of the findings of the themes. Can you do that? How do you do that? Generate actionable insights. Again, actioning it. Super duper important. Fuel ideation and evaluate product experience, meaning not just researching in isolation, not just running a study of a few months, but when it doesn't really inform any of the actions. What's the point? So qualitative methods, quant, surveys, communicate results, and illustrate suggestions in compelling and creative ways, meaning can you actually present it right? Can you play it back so that someone who doesn't believe in those insights actually gets on board, and you can tell a story and engage them enough so that you can change their minds? Because ultimately, user research is only needed if there is some sort of challenge or friction in the business, because business ideas and presumptions might not be good enough or informed enough. That's why they would bring you in and say,
go and see what the users say. What do they do?
What if that information tells the opposite? Where are you gonna go head on? Are you gonna try to warm them up, massage it in somehow? Are you gonna present it and bring people on the journey as you go so that they're more familiar? Are you gonna bring anecdotal evidence? Are you gonna support it with a quant measures and say, majority of your people say this, and kind of put it in a very, very tangible terms? Are you gonna do that? If you do, you're fit with job description and many other user research descriptions. Act as a thought leader in domain of research while advocating for the people. This is super important. Every designer needs to. Can you impact and influence the stakeholder minds? At least the immediate team. What about outside team? If you can, list it out, make it obvious, make it glaring, so this specific hiring manager or the recruiter can actually see, okay, they actually meet that criteria, why not to talk about? And everything in between. So there's a lot of different things here. One another thing is the portfolios. It's so rare for user research to have portfolios, so you can stand out from the crowd if you can come up and pull up the cases of your previous research, of your process, of the challenges, of all the strengths you have as someone who runs user research studies and influences actual actions to be made. And I reviewed so many applicants for user research roles, and most of them have very impressive CVs, which are like multi-page of research and academic experiences, and a lot of research obviously on paper, but they cannot show that they can action it in the real world commercial scenarios where when it comes to interacting with other people and actually putting that insight into something like a product or service. It immediately just makes you stand out. It's as simple as that. And so I hope this is useful, and if so, smash that like button, subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so, leave a comment down below, and on that note, I'll see you next time.